Hey guys, it is the Dev Gabe here. This video is about memory leaks. Memory leaks stack in connection with move to finish. So we have a while true do, and as you can see that this humanoid.MoveToFinished is gonna be connecting each time that the thing will run. And although it might look like it's only gonna connect once, it's actually gonna stack. And this is called a memory leak, and that's because the humanoid.MoveToFinish is being created every single time that the task.wait point one is coming in. So this is not good for your performance, and there needs to be a solution to this. So let's look at the first solution. So the slight solution, use once instead of connect. Still stacks connection, but will all disconnect as soon as the event runs once. So you use the colon and then once, and this colon will basically make it so, or this once will basically disconnect as soon as it runs one time. And it's kind of like if you wanted to make a pathfinding system, you would want to use this because at least it disconnects it as soon as all of them run at once, because it's going to still stack, of course. But it's a very easy way because of course it's going to be confirmed when the humanoid is alive. And as soon as this humanoid moves it once time, unless if it's stuck, then it should work. But if you're making an NPC system, this isn't a bad solution, but this is not the best solution. Now, this is the best solution. Create a variable to ensure one connection. So if you wanted to keep this connection inside of the while loop and you want it to always be one, create a local variable called one connection, or call it whatever you want. And then it will check if that one connection is still there. So once this defines one connection, if not one connection, because one connection is nil, this basically means equals nil. But I don't put equals nil because it looks better without the nil. And nil means non-existent. Then one connection will equal the humanoid.MoveToFinish connection. And this will define it as true. And then it won't run again because there is a one connection, a valid. And then we can call it off connection after 30 seconds without destroying the while loop using something called OS time. And I made a video on that a long time ago, but it's basically just a number constantly counting up from 1970. And this number is going to constantly count up. If you want it to be more with decimal points, like if you want it to be 30.5, this needs to be OS clock or tick. It can also be tick as well. But for a simple, just so it doesn't take too much performance, I just use integer values. Integers is just without decimal points. And this is counting up from, let's say, 1,205 to 1,206, 1,207, and so on. So yeah, this is basically good for numbers that you don't want decimal points with. And yeah, and then as soon as the connection, you want it after 30 seconds to disconnect it for some reason. If you ever if you're ever in that scenario, you just disconnect it. And then if you wanted to rerun it again and point to allow for new connections to be created, then call it to nil. But if you don't want it to run it ever again, you could just set this to nil. And we'll not set it to nil because this one connection will always be defined as one connection. So this will never run ever again. And once this disconnects, it will never, this ideal right here will never run again because it has to be set to nil because the one connection is still active even after disconnecting it. I mean, I didn't think about that when I was first starting to script, but I learned over time, and now nil is something you have to do. If you ever want to disconnect it and redefine it for this thing to run again, you have to set it to nil. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this scripting tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.